Hello everyone, this is Stephen Balch, your instructor for Introduction to Computer Applications at Ozarka College. Today what I'd like to do is give you a little bit of feedback on the Word Module 3 assignments and the Word production exams that I've graded last week. And then I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Excel Module 1 activities that we have coming up due early next week. Okay? So the first thing is, like I said, I did finish grading the Word Module 3 assignments last week. I believe they were due Monday of last week, Monday night. And so I finished grading those like in the middle of the week last week during our snow week. And so hopefully you've already looked at your grades for those activities and read the corresponding grading comments. Most of you did well on those Word Module 3 activities. There were a few of you that kind of missed a few formatting steps, but if I did have to count any points off, I tried to be very specific on what I was counting points off for and why and what I was looking for. In other words, what formatting you missed specifically on the assignment. So, like I said, if you haven't already looked at your grades for those activities, go ahead and do that. Let me know if you have questions. All right. Then on the Word production exams, most of you did well on that as well. I believe that was due by Thursday of last week. So I graded that, the Word production exams, a little bit later last week. But most of you did well on the exam. So keep up the good work on that. Be sure to read the grading comments for the exam and let me know if you have any questions at all. Again, just like on the assignments, on the exams, I also try to be very specific on what I'm counting points off for if I did have to count any points off. Some of the common errors were mostly just on the production exam were mostly just simply formatting steps that were overlooked. Formatting that was applied incorrectly, things like that. The way that you kind of prevent those kinds of things from happening in the future is by doing a little bit more proofreading. Make sure that you carefully proofread each part of your document before you submit it for a grade. Okay? But like I said, overall, most of you did well. Even those of you that for most of you, even if I had to count some points off, it wasn't very many points. So most of you did well on the Word production exam. So like I always tell you, I really appreciate the time and effort that you're putting into the class. And so keep up the good work on that. All right. So that brings us to what we've got coming up for our next set of activities. So if we go to the activities page in my Ozarka, at this point, we are done with the Word, Microsoft Word portion of the course, other than we will have a Word portion on the final exam. And I'll tell you more about that when it gets closer to the end of the semester. But right now, we're going to be starting with week 6, which is this week. We are now transitioning to Excel, which is a spreadsheet program. It allows us to keep track of numerical and financial data. And businesses use it extensively to keep track of all kinds of things like inventory and sales and all kinds of things. So it's very important to know how to use Excel. And so we will have 3 separate modules in Excel. And this first module, the activities for it are due by Sunday, March 2nd. So you've got just about a week, basically just a little under a week to be working on those activities. Now, let me also kind of point this out because I know I had a few of you that emailed me about this and just asked me about it. You'll notice under week 6, which is the week that we're on right now, we don't have anything due this week. And there will be some weeks on the activities page for this particular class that there is nothing due. But even though there's nothing due this week, you should still be working on the activities that are due early next week. Okay. In fact, the Excel Module 1 activities are due the first day of next week, which is Sunday, March 2nd. So, like I said, even though there's nothing due this week, you need to still be working on the activities that are due early next week. Okay? Don't let it sneak up on you. Don't wait till Sunday and then say, oh my gosh, I've got to get this work done. It's due tonight. Go ahead and be working on it now, and that way you have plenty of time to get it done before the due date. Okay? Now, for the Excel assignments, make sure that you are entering all the formulas and functions that they tell you to enter in the instructions. Don't just type in the calculated values as numbers, because that kind of defeats the whole purpose of learning how to use Excel to make our calculations for us. If we're making the calculations with a calculator and then just entering the numbers, that's not what Excel is for. And also, when you just enter numbers like that, instead of actually inserting the formulas and functions, when we go to update the worksheet later on, when we need to make updates to the numbers, if we have the formulas and functions in the cells, then it will automatically recalculate all those formulas and functions for us. It will also redo any charts that we've created based on those numbers. But if you just type in the numbers as, just digits of the numbers for the calculated values, then none of that updating is going to get done. And so make sure that you're following the instructions and entering the formulas and functions as instructed. Okay? And you'll learn in Module 1, in the assignments for Module 1, you'll learn how to use the sum button to get the totals for the columns and the rows of the worksheet. And then it will also give you some other formulas like net values that you'll enter as well. But it'll tell you what formulas to enter and so forth. And make sure, let's go ahead and click on the Excel Module 1 Assignment 1 link here to go to that page. And make sure you're following the instructions that I provided up here at the top of the page. And then also remember the demonstration videos that I provided here. These demonstration videos come in real handy when maybe you're working through the textbook and you aren't able to do something that it tells you to do in the textbook and follow along with the textbook instructions. That's when you can use these demonstration videos to guide you through. In the demonstration videos, remember, I take you step by step through creation of the workbook, the worksheets in the workbook, and any charts that you're creating based on the values in the worksheet. And remember, there are different parts. There's a part 1, part 2, actually, there's just 2 parts for this one, yeah. So part 1 and part 2. And in those videos, again, I demonstrate how to complete that particular assignment, okay, that particular workbook. So that is highly recommended, especially for those of you that may not have had any experience with Excel in the past. So make use of those demonstration videos, and that will help you be able to create the workbooks without much of an issue. If you do run into any problems, let me know. Just use CourseMail, or actually a better thing, let me go back to the activities page. If you have a question as you're working through Excel Module 1, use this Excel Module 1 help discussion and ask your question on the discussion board, and that way when I answer your question, other students in the class will be able to see my answers, and it may help other students in the class that have similar questions. Because in a lot of cases, if you have a question as a student, there's probably another student that has that same question that if I can answer it on the discussion board, it's a whole lot more efficient and effective for all of us. Okay? So make use of that Excel Module 1 help discussion item there. So in addition to assignment 1, you have assignments 2 and 3. Once you do assignment 1 and you use the demonstration videos to work your way through assignment 1, you'll then know enough as far as how to use Excel to do assignments 2 and 3. All right? And then the only other thing you have is the Excel Module 1 objective test, and you'll need to also get that done by the due date, which is Sunday, March 2nd. So be working on those activities. Again, make sure you're following the instructions carefully and checking all your work before you submit your assignments. And so be working on that. Let me know if you have questions, and I will see you next time. Thank you.